What up, though? This your boy Cousin P, and you're tuned in to
The
spot where the ears meet the street.
You here with the players, the best. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you. Damn, I don't even know. I gotta get the shit where your ear eat. What is it? Where your ears meet the street. Where your ear meet the street. The spot where your ear meet the streets, man. Where your ears meet the
spot where the ears meet the streets. I'm your host Vicky, and today we have on our show
VBAYY.
Watch it, I'm out working for ya. Go ahead, throw them bands on. Twerk it for a bitchy only. Hey, 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 hey. I got what you want, and you got what I need. Your lady and your freak is all I wanna be. Get low, get low.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Are you from Sacramento?
I'm originally from Oakland, but musically I kind of got my start in Sacramento, so I'm probably known more out here musically than my hometown.
How long you been doing music?
Since like elementary. Yeah, since elementary I was in a group, starting from like middle school, working with the House of Music and Dwayne Wiggins production group, and then kind of went on later on to become a solo artist after that.
Okay. Are you working on any new music right now?
Yeah, I just recently released my album January 1st, Everything New. So just released that. I'm not working on anything else at the time, just setting up stuff for a promo tour for that. And
what's everything new about?
It is about, okay, well I'll just tell the premises. I started recording the album right in the beginning of a breakup. So it's kind of that album kind of takes you through a journey kind of to an extent. So starts off with me going through that and kind of, like finding yourself again, having some fun, and then kind of getting back out there again, dating or whatever, finding new love after heartbreak and stuff like that. So.
Oh, I used to be telling the story.
Yeah.
A good one.
A good one, telling a good one, but it's some fun along the way too. So.
How would you describe your sound?
That's interesting. I had a lot of different types of influences growing up because of my parents and then just music that I listened to. So I would say Sade, a mixture of that type of sound, because I could be really laid back on a lot of my vocals. Also some Mariah though, here and there. And I've even gotten some Janet, like people say, oh, you kind of sound like Janet. So I guess all of that. I'll mix together. I mix together a little bit myself. My manager used to manage and work with DMX and grew up with Mary J. And he says though my personality and like my swag and all that stuff like remind me of Mary J. when she was younger. So it's kind of like you got that type of personality and swag with that vocals.
So in the end, you just got kind of you.
I just got me,
You grab little pieces from
all those different things. You know how that is. You grow up, you have all these different influences. So I guess put together, it kind of creates something new.
Okay. I'm for it. Right. What do you hope your fans get from your music?
I'm hoping that they enjoy the journey. Taking that little ride with me through the album. And hopefully inspire some people maybe going through some stuff, because that was my goal when I started the album. I didn't want it to be just like sad love songs. I knew like I wanted it to be that like overcoming that and getting to like a better place, and that's why I titled the album Everything New. So kind of getting over to that other side and having everything brand new.
Sounds like a happy title anyways. Everything new. You just get happy when everything is brand new and clean.
And clean, yes. Right. And that's my favorite song on the album too, is Everything New, because it just has that feel to it. It's like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm happy now.
All right. So what are some of your influences outside of hip hop that helped you create your style, your form and style?
let's see, influences outside of hip hop. I'm not sure if I have any. I would say my mom was a big, well, she wouldn't be hip hop. My mom was a big Diana Ross fan, so I think that played an influence. What other influences would I have outside of hip hop? My mom was a big influence. My parents were probably the biggest influence I probably would have outside of hip hop.
Are they musically inclined as well?
Both my parents, yeah. My mom was a background singer, and my dad was a keyboardist. So both of them had musical background as well.
So that was your push. Had to be fun growing up.
Yeah, and no, because they kind of like put it, and I always joke with them about this, that was crazy. So I got to hear all the stories growing up, but they kind of had like transitioned into something else by the time, I was growing up. My dad was just doing his art full time because he said too much came along with it. Like one night I think he said he could have almost got arrested because they were at an after party and he went to go drop some art off, and I guess going to go meet up with everybody at the after party, and they busted it because it was like coke. I don't know. It was just different, type of environment. And so he just was like, I want to get out, and then he just had me on the way. It's like the art was making where he had already kind of did what he wanted to do. So he kind of like walked away from where that stuff. And same thing with my mom, like my mom was modeling and doing all kind of stuff too. Prior to I was born, she still did some modeling after I was born, but she kind of just went more into business stuff. So. I didn't get to experience that that side as much. They kind of like was all calm, and I just get to hear the stories. So, but it was still fun. Their friends and stuff would come by or whatever.
And how do you see yourself as an artist? How do you view yourself?
As an artist, I'm really laid back. I was saying something recently, like I'm not like the turn up queen. You know what I'm saying? So I don't try to pretend to be. I'm not the girl you're going to see probably twerking the videos. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, but I just think you got to be true to yourself. And sometimes they'll try to tell people, like, you got to be a certain way. But I think if it's not authentic to you, then it's not going to come off right. It's going to come off like you're trying to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then I don't want to box myself into something. I'm like, if that's not really me, I'm going to be sick of, sick and tired of doing it or trying to do it to get on. Like, so I would say I'm a laid back, round-away girl. Girl next door type of vibe. That's the best way I think I could describe myself.
How do you think your fans view you?
I would think pretty much the same way. Like I'm pretty chill, pretty laid back. On stage, I'm outgoing. Outside of that, I'm not really. So I would think my fans would probably view me about the same way. I'm really laid back. My music is pretty laid back too.
Chill.
Just
So
chill.
what do you typically sing about? Like, is it just heartbreak and heartache, or?
I think just
Getting through
relationships in general. So love just in general, the good, the bad, the happy, like everything in between. But mostly I do sing about relationships. Sometimes it's just too though, like I want to have fun, so I might be singing about that too. So it could vary. It just depends on whatever my mood is at that particular time.
What advice would you give a younger girl that was wanting to sing and that was just starting out right now?
At first thing I would say, vocal training, our vocal coach, or getting a choir, because it'll provide the same like foundation for you. Work ethic makes you ready to work hard. It's not gonna come easy. It ain't gonna come overnight. It's gonna be ups and downs, so you gotta really love it. If you love it, you can't just be because you want to be famous or nothing. You gotta really love this because it's gonna come with its share of battles. Stay true to who you are and really try to find yourself in who you are, because people will try to tell you who you are if you don't know.
Right. Has social media had a positive influence on your music as far as helping you to market it?
Yeah, I think so. It's been a good tool to use as far as social media goes. I try not to get too caught up in it, as far as that goes or whatever, because it's kind of like a facade to an extent, and it doesn't always equate success as far as artistry. I found just being behind the scenes too, but it's a great tool to use to market, to connect with other artists, to network. It's been great for that.
Do you feel that things may be a little harder for you because you're a woman?
It has its perks and then it has its drawbacks. You know what I'm saying? Because of course, because you're a woman, you're gonna get that where people will try to box you in or say you can't do certain things because you're a woman. I remember hearing certain people saying to like an artist, because she was having a baby or having a, I don't have any kids personally, but just hearing someone say to another artist about them having kids and how it wouldn't work. But you don't hear that like a rap artist, a male rap artist having a kid on the way, or because he got a kid telling him like he can't, follow his dreams. So you do get that double-centered stereotype on a lot of different things. However, then you have that other side of like, if you're a pretty face, women, people like to be around women. So sometimes in some ways that does open doors for you, but you just got to make sure that you not playing yourself.
Right, make the right decisions.
Make the right decisions, yeah.
So what do you do outside of music?
Outside of music, I like to design clothes. I also paint. What else do? I do a multitude of different things. I have a regular 9-to-5 now, so you know what I'm saying? I gotta stack that money. I mean, music paying some, but it's not enough for me to totally just be like, not have a regular gig as well.
Right. Where do you see yourself with your music in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself doing music full time, having my 5th album out, in a pretty good place. So
sounds good. If your music career wasn't to take off, or if it didn't work the way you planned on it, did you have a plan B?
Always have been building like business on the other side of things, whatever. So I think it's investing in real estate. That's something I've been doing lately or whatever. Bought a house, looking to buy another property for rental. So I think you always have to have that idea of multiple streams of income. So even if the music was a pop off, then you got to figure out what are you going to do with the money when it comes, or vice versa. If it don't, do you have another way to sustain? So yeah, that my other, I guess, would be backup plan would be a real estate investment.
Okay, well, that was all my questions I have for you today. I thank you for coming out, sitting with us.
Thank you.
Letting us get to talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Those are dope questions.
Can you look at the camera and shout out all your social media info?
Yeah, my social media, Instagram, VBAYY, V as in Victor, VAYY on Instagram. You can also find me on Facebook at Vashayla Joshann, VASHAYLA JOSHANN. I'm mostly on Instagram now, so just hit me up on Instagram at VBAYY and I'll holler back at you.